What up? What up? What up? What up? Hello, guys. It is official. We have a bracket. 68 teams have made the list, and y'all, we got a lot to talk about because we got a bracket of death to talk about. We have some potential serious upsets to talk about. And y'all, the committee had a little bit of surprises. The committee had a little bit of surprises in terms of how everything all shook out. So we are going to get into it. I hope you all had a chance to watch the the show on ESPN when they broke down the different teams who are making it into the NCAA tournament. If y'all didn't, don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it right now. Also, I know a lot of y'all are probably disappointed that some of y'all teams didn't make it to the NCAA tournament. However, I do have one thing to share with you is we do have the WBIT to talk about as well. So we're gonna get into that. So we're gonna talk about the NCAA tournament, who's in, who's out, and predictions of what we can expect. We're gonna talk about the WBIT because that is a thing, and that is an opportunity for teams to still be competitive in March. We are also going to talk about the WNIT. So yes, absolutely, teams want to be in the NCAA tournament, but all is not lost if you are not in the NCAA tournament. So yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of different stuff. I do appreciate y'all for rocking with me. If y'all could hit that like button, that would be absolutely great. If y'all get that like button, that would be fabulous. Honestly says, yep, and we're back. Honestly, I did reply to your IG. So yeah. Thanks for that. Y'all honestly has a YouTube channel that and she makes videos. So y'all should check out honestly in her channel. All right, so let's get into it and let's look at the full slate of the tournament. Guys, we have the number one overall team, which of course is the South Carolina Gamecocks. Second overall team for the tournament was Iowa. So you would have thought Iowa would have had so South Carolina, because they're the overall number one seed, they should have the best, like they should have the easiest route, right, to get to the championship. And I would argue that they do, relative, right? Now Iowa should have the second best, but they don't. They don't. Iowa basically has the worst seating. Like it's yeah, we're gonna get into it more in a sec, but yeah, the leaders is South Carolina, Iowa, Texas, and USC. And for South Carolina, of course, they are the overall number one seed because they're South Carolina. They're a team that is completely undefeated on the season. They have not lost a game at all. They haven't really lost any games in the last several years. This South Carolina team is just dominant, They have dominated the regular season play. They almost got a couple of times. One to LSU, one to Tennessee, and in the semifinals of the SEC tournament. But y'all, this South Carolina team is very, very, very good. Like, and when I say very good, I mean very good. If y'all haven't heard, I said very good. We will see what happens with South Carolina, but yeah, they're on a really good path. Now moving on to Iowa. Iowa is a number one seed. They close out the year really well. They won the Big Ten Conference, and they're looking good. Because it's not just Caitlin doing her thing. It's Caitlin and everybody else doing their thing. It's players like Kate Martin doing her thing. It's Hannah Stokey in the middle who's doing her thing, right? So this Iowa team is looking good, and you would have thought they would have earned a better a better route to the championship game than they got. But we're going to talk about that more in just a sec. Now, let's look at this Texas team. Texas also is a number 1 seed. And Texas, I kind of went either way about Texas. I wasn't sure if Texas was going to be a 1 or a 2 seed just because you had the likes of Stanford. But, Texas did get the edge over Stanford, and they are a number 1 seed because of the road that they took to make it to the Big 12 championship. They did play a pretty rough schedule, making it to the Big 12 tournament, and they were rewarded with that number 1 pick. Now, continuing on, for the final number 1 seed, we have USC. Now, USC won the Pac-12, so of course, because they won the Pac-12, they were going to get a number 1 seed. They've earned it. They've been very good this season, especially as of late. And this team is really, really rocking and rolling. So those are the number 1 seeds. Now let's go into the particular brackets. All right. Now, because this is where it gets very, very interesting. And we start with Portland number 4. Portland 4. All right. So we have a very interesting matchup, right? So we have Texas versus Drexel. Texas should for sure win that. Alabama versus Florida State. Wash. I would say maybe Florida State has a little bit of an edge. We have Utah versus South Dakota State. Don't sleep on South Dakota State, but I do think Utah has that game. We look at Gonzaga versus UC Irvine. I mean, UC Irvine is not a bad school, but I do think Gonzaga does take it out in this one. We have Tennessee versus Green Bay, NC State versus Chattanooga, Iowa State versus Maryland, and Stanford versus Norfolk State. Now, in terms of this regional, Portland 4, I think Texas got a really good end of the deal in this because, yes, like their first 2 games are going to be pretty easy-ish, right? It should be pretty easy-ish for this team. And as you sort of go down the list, the top competitors in this bracket really is, you have Texas, you have Utah, you have Stanford, and you have NC State. I think either Texas or Stanford is getting out of this one. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is that crazy of a bracket, right? Now, I will say we're going to get into a crazy bracket, the one that Iowa is in. but this one, it's all right. I have no worries about this one. I think Texas will likely play Stanford. It's possible that we'll see some upsets, but I don't really see us really, really getting much in terms of upsets that will actually affect the like whoever makes it out of here, right? So it's possible that that South Dakota State, gets Utah. It's possible that UC Irvine gets Gonzaga. But do I think teams like that will defeat Stanford or Texas? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see NC State or Tennessee beating Stanford. But I will say this. We are in March, guys. We are in March. And this is time. This is time for us to see some crazy, crazy, crazy upsets. Now, guys, I have not started working on my bracket yet. I am going to wait on that to give this a little bit more time to noodle in and figure out who I think is going to win. and who I think is going to make it far. I do believe there's going to be upsets, but ultimately I think it's either going to be Texas or Stanford that makes it out of this conference. Now, NC State is a very good school, but I don't see them. I don't see them making it out of here because they are a very, very, very inconsistent squad. Sometimes they look great, other times they look very, very suspect. And so, I don't see them making it out of this. And Tennessee is a very good squad as well. However, Tennessee, they have a problem finishing games at times, and I don't see them being able to make it out of this bracket. And Utah, yes, is a very good squad. However, they rely so much on the 3-point shot that I think we're going to have we're not going to see them make it as far, right? So yeah, those are my initial thoughts. But guys, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be fantastic. We got like 400 people in the chat. Thank y'all so much for joining. If y'all want to leave a comment in the comment section, you have to subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers. The goal was to hit 10,000 subscribers before the NCAA tournament starts, which it starts on the 20th. So fingers crossed in the next couple of days, we can get 10,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Also, please hit that like button as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. All right, so that was Portland 4. I don't see that many crazy stuff happening, either Texas or Stanford coming out of this one. Now, I do have a question for you guys. Let me know in the chat. Who do you think is going to make it out of this bracket? Who is going to make it out? And I'm gonna actually do a poll so we can actually see. I'm going to do a poll so we can actually see what everybody thinks. All right, so I'm going to ask who is going to make it out of Portland 4. Is it Texas? Is it Stanford? Or is it the field? All right, let me know. All right, so that poll is now live. So yeah, guys, let me know in the chat who y'all think is going to get it. Is it Stanford? Is it Texas? Or is it the field? Let me know in the comments. And also, if it's the field, let me know who y'all think is going to make it. Queen says, I say Bama. Alabama making it out of Portland 4. Now I tell you this: if Alabama can do that, Alabama owes Christy Curry, I believe that's the name of their head coach. They owe her a ginormous raise if Alabama can make it out of Portland 4. All right, moving on to Portland 3. We're gonna look at the results of that poll in just a sec, and we're actually going to do a poll for every single regional. All right. So we're gonna do one for every single regional, and then we're gonna put it together and then determine who the awesome people of the internet is picking to make it far. All right. All right, moving on to Portland 3. Now we have a very interesting mix of interesting cast of characters joining us for this one, and I say let's see what happens. I say let us see what happens. All right, now when we look, why does my screen keep changing? All right, so that's weird. Anyway, for Portland 3, we have a very, very interesting cast of characters. We have USC, Southern California, as the number 1 seed. It makes sense because they have just been very, very good in the Pac-12. They did win the Pac-12 tournament, so it makes sense. It really does make sense that they are where they are. I think when you're talking about sort of teams going forward, you want to make sure that you're on a you want to make sure you're in a good position. And I do believe that USC is in a very, very good position to make it out of this conference. So we have USC versus Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. We have Kansas versus Michigan. Baylor versus either Vandy or Columbia. Now, here's the thing, guys. We do have what is called the first four in the NCAA. Now, this is 8 teams that are playing. They're technically in the NCAA tournament, but they're not in the first round. So we have the first four, and then we have the first round, and then so on and so on and so on. So the first four is when 8 teams go against each other, and the 4 that win those games then move on to actually make the real bracket. So for the first 4, we actually have a very interesting match. So we have Columbia versus Vandy. Now, Columbia, if y'all were here for the stream earlier today, you all heard me talk about Columbia and how their coach was trying to make the pitch for them to make the NCAA tournament, and they had a resume, and then she talked about, she sort of compared her team to the SEC. And there was some SEC fans who had something to say about that. And now we see Columbia, they're going to face Vanderbilt, which is an SEC team. So we are going to see if Columbia can hang with Vanderbilt. Now, I do think they can. I actually do think they can. We'll see what happens, though. We will. It's kind of funny how that all worked out. And she just called him. She talked about the SEC earlier, and now look, now she's gonna have to prove what she said against the SEC. All right, we also have Virginia Tech versus Marshall, Syracuse versus either Auburn or Arizona. Yes, Lejeune, yes. Columbia now has to show up or shut up. Yes, they do. They really do. This is their moment. This is their moment to shine. We also, in the first 4 matchup, we also have Auburn versus Arizona. Now, I do think that we will see Arizona come out with the dub on this one. Now, Arizona is, I feel like, the more battle-tested team. And so that's why I put Arizona over Auburn in this. Now, guys, let me know in the chat who you all think is going to make it out of this. Is it Arizona? Is it Auburn? Or is it someone, or, which one of these teams are going to make it out? I do think it's going to be Arizona, because they have been a very, very, very battle-tested team, especially playing in the Pac-12. They have had some very good games this season. And I could absolutely see them beating Auburn. Now, we'll see what happens, but I do think that that we will possibly see Arizona beat Auburn. So Syracuse will play the winner of that game. We will also see UConn play Jackson State. Now, Jackson State, earlier I talked about Jackson State and how their coach, Coach Tamika Reed, was trying to make the appeal for them not to be a number 15 seed, and now they're not. They're not a number 15 seed. They are a number 14 seed. So improvement, Jackson State. Y'all should be happy about yourselves. Y'all should be happy. We will see Jackson State play UConn. Now, yes, sure. UConn is a way better team than Jackson State. However, Aaliyah Edwards has broken her nose. I don't completely know the status of Aaliyah Edwards at this moment. And so that is something to think about. That is something to absolutely think about, especially because in the finals of the Big East game, we saw UConn basically have a six-man rotation. It was a six-man rotation because it normally is a 7-man rotation, but Aaliyah Edwards was out because she broke her nose. It depends on if we see Aaliyah Edwards in that first game. I mean, yes, absolutely. UConn should still beat Jackson State, even if Aaliyah Edwards can't play. However, they can get got. I'm just saying they can absolutely get got to Jackson State, especially if Aaliyah Edwards does not play. Yes, you're absolutely right. The disruptive one said Edwards being out didn't help Georgetown or Marquette. Yes, those were the teams that UConn beat in order to get to winning another Big East win. And so yeah, it didn't help them, but yeah, it's something to think about though. It really is something to think about. Karan says Aaliyah is wearing her mask. She is back. Okay. All right. So Aaliyah Edwards is back. All right. So yeah, anyway, UConn versus Jackson State, Duke versus Richmond. Don't sleep on Richmond. I'm just saying. Don't sleep on Richmond. This is not just an automatic win for Duke. This is not. I'm gonna just say that. And then we have Ohio State versus Maine. Now, I think Ohio State should beat Maine, but yeah, in terms of this conference, I would absolutely love, like in general, I would love to see upsets in general, but I feel like the number one team in this bracket, they're going to win, which is USC. Like this is one of the easier brackets that USC could deal with. Like this is, yeah, they're gonna have some tough games, but for the most part, it's not gonna be that horrible for USC to make it all the way to the Final Four. Like I could absolutely see a pathway. I mean, all they have to do is beat UConn and or they either have to beat UConn or Ohio State, because in order for like UConn and Ohio State have to face each other if they make it to the round. Because if you see here, you see like the different brackets. So USC will only play one or the other, either UConn or Ohio State. Yes, they will probably play Virginia Tech. However, Virginia Tech still doesn't have Elizabeth Kitley back. I don't think Virginia Tech can deal with USC without Elizabeth Kitley. I don't think they can. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you to Theo. Thank you so much, Theo B, for the super chat. Theo says Iowa, LSU, UCLA, all in the same region, bloodbath. And don't sleep on Colorado. Women's tournament about to be a movie. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Theo. We're going to get into the craziness of, the Iowa regional. Wow. It's insane. It is insane. Mr. Joe says Pac-12 was the best conference. I agree. Thank you so much, Jamila, for the super chat. Jamila says, love the community you've created. Quita, you should host a bracket challenge for your subscribers. We actually are doing a bracket challenge. We are doing a bracket challenge. We are participating in ESPN's tournament challenge. So let me go ahead and find that link, and I will drop it in the chat. But I do hope that you all decide to take part in that, because I think that would be very, very fun for all of us to sort of compete against each other and really see who is the best. I'm just saying, it's time. It's going to be time for us to really see who can predict the best brackets. All right. So yeah, we are participating in ESPN's Women's Tournament Challenge. I am going to drop a link in the chat. I would appreciate it. Yeah. If y'all can join that. I think it'll be very, very fun for us. I think it'll be very, 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 very fun. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They are. Michaela says, justice for Iowa. Justice for Iowa. Justice for Iowa. I mean, Iowa has been screwed over. I'm just saying, they have been screwed over. If I was an Iowa fan, I'd be pissed, man. I would be so mad. I would be so mad. All right, guys, I do want to close out the Portland 4 bracket challenge. So right now we have a question as a poll right here. It says, who will make it out of Portland 4? 36% of y'all said Texas, 42% said Stanford, and 22% said the field. All right. Thank y'all so much for participating. I will end this poll, and we are about to start a new poll for Portland 3. All right. And I do appreciate y'all taking note that poll because, we really, we democratic here at Quita Loves Sports. We pretty democratic, right? we are pretty democratic. So I do want to ask the question, guys, who will make it out of Portland 3? All right. So is this going to be USC? Is this Ohio State? Who do y'all think is going to make it out? Let me add a spoiler in here just for funsies. Let's add a spoiler in here. Let's say Duke. Let's say Duke, or the field. All right, so the question is, who will make it out of Portland 3? Is it USC? Is it Ohio State? Is it Duke? Or is it the field? Now, guys, this is pretty democratic. I want to know what y'all think about it. Let me know by filling out that poll. Yeah, guys, I think it's kind of fun for us to sort of make this all happen. Honestly, you are absolutely right. Y'all honestly said this is get got season. Or better said, 'tis the season to get got. March Madness 2024 women's basketball. We in here. y'all, this is fun. This is fun, y'all. This is fun. Bear Down says, I feel bad for Mississippi State. Well, they will be in the WBIT. We'll talk more about that in a sec. But yeah, if you guys are upset about some of your teams not making it in the NCAA tournament, you may want to see the WBIT, which we will get to in just a sec. All right. I do see a lot of people in the chat saying that UConn is going to take the regional. All right. People are saying UConn is going to take it. All right. Moving on to Albany 2. The dreaded Albany 2. Where all the marbles are had. All right. Let's look at Alfred, who had a super chat. Thank you so much, Alfred, for the super chat. Alfred said, what are your thoughts about LSU not being a number 2 seed? I mean, initially I thought that LSU was going to be a number 2 seed, but I'm not that, I don't know. I initially thought they would be number 2 seed, but I don't think it's messed up for them to be number 3 seed. Like, I think it's I think it's fine for them to be a number 3 seed. So yeah. Bree says, first of all, Bree, thank you so much for the super chat. Bree said, Quita, I'm a new basketball fan, and I'm confused about this 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds for the NCAA tournament. Can you explain? If not, can you make a separate video? Yeah, I can do that. Yes. Basically what the committee does is they take they sort of rank out all the teams in the country, and then they start to sort of figure out, okay, well, who is the overall best teams in the country? Those are your number 1 seeds. Then down one row, number 2 seeds, down one row, number 3 seeds. So it's the order of how good these teams are, but also there is some logistic stuff in that as well, because they don't, in terms of like not having a huge amount of teams from the same conference in the bracket together. So there's actually way more to that, to what I just said, and I can actually I'll do a separate video to really explain that. But thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for the question. I am happy you are rocking with women's basketball. All right. Wow, guys, we have had 546 chats so far. That is crazy. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all can hit that like button, that would be absolutely phenomenal. All right, so again, we have Iowa at the number 1 spot for Albany 2. Now, this is rough territory for everybody. Every single team who is in Albany 2. I've heard people say this is a bloodbath. I've heard people say that this is the monster of a bracket. Like, this is all that. This is all of that in a bag of chips, y'all. This is crazy. I initially people were saying that the NCAA was trying to give Iowa an easy road to the NCAA championship, and y'all, that ain't the case, y'all. This Iowa team has the craziest route to the NCAA tournament. This is straight up gauntlet material. Straight up, this is a gauntlet, and y'all, this is gonna be fun to watch. Shout out to DizFan9212, who said Albany 2 is the toughest of the 4. Absolutely, I agree with you. Looking forward to a potential Jeff Walls versus Kim Mulkey rematch. That 2013 Sweet 16 between U of L and Baylor was amazing. going back in the day. Oh man. Y'all, I can't remember if that was the time period that I'm thinking about, but do y'all remember, was Shoni Schimmel at that time? Did she play at that time? So there was, I don't know, DizFan9212, if that was the year that it was Shoni Schimmel versus Brittany Griner. That was fun. Like, honestly, I don't know if that was 2013 or not, but like, when I think about Kim Mulkey versus Jeff Walls, that's what I think of. I think of Brittany Griner versus Showtime Shoni Schimmel. That's what I think about. But yeah, if y'all can hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. We got almost 700 people in the chat in the stream. I do appreciate y'all all for rocking with me. If y'all can hit that like button, that would be phenomenal. Also, if y'all can hit that subscribe button, that would be great as well. Now, y'all, we're gonna continue on talking about Albany 2, the toughest time for women's basketball. This is crazy. Oh, this fan number 2 says yes, it was. Oh, thank you so much for the other super chat saying yes, it was. Appreciate that. Yeah, y'all. If y'all don't know what this fan is talking about, go back on YouTube, look up Baylor versus Louisville, Shoni Schimmel versus Brittany Griner, y'all. That was a movie right there. That was a movie. All right. So let's get into this bracket. Okay. So Iowa is going to either play Holy Cross or UT Martin. Again, both of those teams are playing in Iowa City in the first 4 games. I have no idea who's going to win between Holy Cross and UT Martin. I have no idea. But yeah, Iowa should make it past that. We then have West Virginia versus Princeton. I really don't know. I really don't know who's gonna win this. Both West Virginia and Princeton have some very good players, and I don't know who's gonna win that matchup. So right now I have to think about it. Queen says, okay, educate me. What makes Albany 2 so tough? We're going to go through the rest of Albany 2, and then I'll explain why it's so tough as I sort of go through it. But good question, Queen. We then have Colorado versus Drake, Kansas State versus Portland, Louisville versus Middle Tennessee, LSU versus Rice, Creighton versus UNLV, UCLA versus California Baptist. Now, the reason why I say that this is a tough bracket, because of the teams that are playing in it. Yes, there are tough teams all across the board. However, to put Iowa, UCLA, LSU, and Kansas State all in the same bracket, I think it's tough. And then you add teams like a Louisville. You add teams like a like a Colorado who can play spoiler to this regional. I think that is why this is so tough of a field, because in the other regionals, I can see, okay, maybe 1 or 2 teams, I could see them coming out of the regional and making it to the Final Four. For this one, I don't know, man. I could absolutely see UCLA, Iowa, or LSU making it. I also can see a team like Colorado or Louisville making it out of this. It's going to be tough, and there are going to be several upsets in this bracket. I feel there's going to be some huge upsets, because this is tough. This is absolutely tough. Iowa, LSU, UCLA, add in the spoilers, and I don't know, man. I think if you poll any team in any of the 68 teams, and you poll them on the regional that they least want to be in, they would say Albany 2. Because it's just going to be a gauntlet. It is going to be a gauntlet for whoever comes out of this one. Whoever wins this one, they're probably going to be limping. They're going to have a rough time getting out of here. But if you get out of Albany 2, you a special team right there. You a special team if you can make it through Albany 2, the toughest regional. It is tough. Snoopy says, when is the TV schedule gets released? It will be released shortly. So the first games start on the 20th. It will be released shortly. I anticipate probably in the next like 2 or 3 days we should see the schedule come out. But y'all, I'm just saying, like, this is going to be tough. So yeah. And yeah. it's not just those teams that I called out. It's also K-State. You also can't forget about K-State and how good they are. So baby, I wouldn't want to be in Albany too. I could tell you that right now. I would not want to be in that grouping at all. Let's get into some of the super chats. All right, let's see. Caitlin, thank you so much for the super chat. Caitlin says, Haley Van Lith about to ball out when Louisville comes to town. Possibly, yeah. But also, Jeff Walls knows Haley Van Lith very well. And so if there's a team that can scheme really well against Haley, it is Louisville. So, that is something to think about as well. Bree, thank you so much for the super chat. Bree says, yes, I like the way you broke down the conferences where I can understand. So I know I want to. Wait, so I don't know. I think I'm reading that wrong. But yeah, I'm glad you appreciate the way that I broke stuff down. I mean, I try to always make sure my streams and videos are like not just engaging and entertaining for the people who are like huge basketball heads like me, but also I want to also make sure that it is approachable and understandable for people who are slightly new to women's basketball. So I do appreciate the support, Bree. Jamila says, first of all, thank you so much, Jamila. Jamila says, I got tickets a few weeks ago and will be driving up to see the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 matchups with my bro for Albany 1 and 2. I'm hype. There we go. That's the spirit, Jamila. I love it. Now, guys in the chat, let me know if you all have gotten tickets to the NCAA. Let me know. I would love to hear where you guys are going and how excited y'all are, because y'all, this is when it all counts, y'all. This is the best of women's college basketball right now. This is the best of women's college basketball, and we just gotta sit back. We gotta sit back and enjoy it. We have to sit back and enjoy it and get ready for the upsets, because this is upset season, y'all. Upset season. Now I do want to just check out and see how y'all are doing with that poll. So right now we have the question is, who will make it out of Portland 3? And right now we have USC winning with 65%. We have Ohio State winning with 19, or not winning. We have Ohio State with 19%. We have Duke with 3%, and we have the field with 13%. And for those who don't know what the field is everybody else. Everybody else that was not named. So it looks like everybody, for the most part, is thinking that USC will make it out of this Portland 3 bracket. And because of that, I will stop the poll. And now we have a new question for y'all. A new question for the group. So, y'all probably know what the question is. Who is going to make it out of Albany 2? All right. Now the question is, who's going to make it out of Albany 2? Is it Iowa? Is it LSU? Is it UCLA? Is it a team like Louisville? Is it K-State? Who is going to make it out of Albany 2? So guys, that poll has just started. If y'all can hit that poll and let me know what y'all are thinking, that would be phenomenal. All right. Let's go back to the super chats. Thank you so much, Tangela, for the super chat. Tangela says, Quita, you are so much fun to watch. In the chat, always makes me laugh. Thank you for your hard work and making this fun. I appreciate this, Tangela. I really do. I mean, that women's basketball is supposed to be fun. Sports is supposed to be fun. Sports is not supposed to be all buttoned up and serious and all this stuff. Nah, man. We supposed to have fun. So that's what we do here. That's what we do here. And that is why we are awesome people of the internet, because we love to talk about women's basketball and we love to have fun. That is what we do. We work hard and have fun. All right. Moving on to LSU Tiger 2. Thank you so much for the super chat. They said, my crazy thoughts initially are Iowa got a tough bracket and USC got an easy one because Caitlin is leaving and Juju is the new face of women's college basketball. Do you think that's why? I mean, I guess I never thought about that. That'd be odd if that is the reason why, but at the same time, I would get it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's something for us to kind of ponder. I don't know. Guys in the chat, what do y'all think about this? Do y'all think that do y'all think that the committee gave USC an easier road because Juju is the future and Caitlin's on her way out? That'd be kind of interesting. That's an interesting thing to think about. Frank, thank you so much for the super chat. Mod Frank. Frank says lunch meat money. Nah, that'll buy a Big Mac, Frank. But no, I do appreciate the financial support, and also I appreciate your support every day as a mod of this channel. So thank you to Frank. All right, guys. I'm gonna get back to the rest of the super chats in just a sec, but I do want to continue to talk about this bracket, this regional that we are in, Albany 2. Now, when we look at some of the other programs on here, UCLA is a tough out, right? They're a very, very, very good defensive team overall. And when it comes to offense, their team really does run on the power of Lauren Betts. Now the key really is because we're going to likely see a matchup between LSU and UCLA in this Albany 2 regional. And the team who wins this game is going to be the team that controls the paint. Because you see how both teams operate. LSU, yeah, sure, absolutely has people, has shooters and whatnot, but it's going to be sort of have to counteract what UCLA has to offer as well. Now, guys, I do want for us to move over to Albany 1. But before we do, I just want to get through the rest of the super chats. And guys, like, this is crazy. Y'all are like blowing up the super chats, and I do appreciate that. Absolutely. Officer Davis, thank you so much for the super chat. Officer Davis says, thank you, LSU Tigers. I've been saying it all, chat. I mean, if LSU makes it through this gauntlet, I would say that'll be absolutely huge. Whoever makes it out of this gauntlet is going to be crazy. That's bragging rights for a long time right there. That's bragging rights. Go Tiger Hoops. Thank you so much for the super chat, Go Tiger Hoops. Says, thanks for the stream, Go Tiger Hoops. If we go back to back, we earned it rocking with LSU. I mean, yes. Yeah. If y'all, yeah, Go Tiger Hoops. If y'all actually make it all the way, yes, no one can say that LSU did not deserve it. If y'all go on to win it, like, yeah. LSU would have deserved it 100-fold if y'all actually are able to make it all the way. Now, guys, I do want to thank y'all so much for joining the chat. Right now, we have 700 people watching, y'all. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I do appreciate this. I really do appreciate the support. It is kind of wild. for y'all just rocking with me and just, yeah, I do appreciate it. I really do. Brandon, thank you so much for the super chat. Brandon says, as a UConn fan, I'm loving the bracket. As an Indiana fan, not so much. Thanks for putting out all these videos. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. There is no N earlier in your name. It's Braden. I believe it's Braden. Thank you so much, Braden. I appreciate the support. This fan comes back with another super chat. Appreciate you. Says, how do you think the national championship rematch from last year will be different from last year to this year in terms of scouting? You mean if we had a exact rematch of LSU versus Iowa? I mean, I think the scouting is very different because these are very different teams. I say these are very, very, very different teams because, sure, the stars of the team for the most part are still there, right? For Iowa, Caitlin's still there. For LSU, Angel's still there. However, a lot of the sort of other players are different, right? Molly Davis is better than she was last year. Hannah Stokey is way better than she was last year and has a starting position. You look at Michaela Williams. She wasn't on the team last year. Anissa Morrow wasn't on the team last year. Angel Reese wasn't on the team last year. Flau'jae was, but, it's a very different team. So I think the scouting is going to be extremely different. Extremely, extremely, extremely different. If we see a matchup between LSU and Iowa. All right, moving on. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for the super chat. Caitlin says Colorado and K-State have the potential to beat Iowa. Yeah, I mean, K-State has beaten Iowa before. So it wouldn't be the craziest to imagine them beating Iowa again. So that's something to think about. I do think that Iowa has learned and grown from that, but we'll see. We will absolutely see. Thank you so much, Mitch, for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Mitch says, this year will be so much fun. I agree. Because of all I have learned from this channel. Thanks, Quita. Oh, thank you so much. That's really special. I really do appreciate the fact that y'all feel like y'all are getting something out of this channel. That really is the goal, to be a resource for education, also to be a place where y'all can just feel like y'all can come in, kick your shoes off, and relax, and engage with people who like the same thing as you, right? Because so many times we, as women's basketball fans, a lot of times we get kicked to the side with all the other sports and whatnot, and we have to play second fiddle to in terms of attention. But for this channel, women's basketball is the singular focus. And our thoughts and opinions matter more than anything else. All right, guys, I do want to move on. To talk about, we're going to talk about Albany 1, guys. We're going to talk about Albany 1. Now, for Albany 1, I would say that South Carolina got the bracket that they deserve. I like the fact that they got the bracket that they deserved. They are the number one team in the country by far, and because of that, it comes with benefits. And one of those benefits is that you get the easiest route to the NCAA championship, and that's what it's all about. Like they have well earned that right. All right, they have earned that right. Yeah, and it's kind of cool. Karan says Albany 1 is quite easy in my opinion. It is. I mean, of course, anybody can get got, right? But it is the easiest of the brackets for the number one seed to sort of make it all the way out. But Michaela says, I feel like South Carolina low key has the second hardest bracket. Michaela, explain. I don't see it. I don't see how they have an easier route. I don't see it. Goro says, what I like about you, you don't bring any drama or get into clickbait titles. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I try not to. I try to keep it straight, pretty straight and narrow, and not be all sensational. Because if y'all want sensational, y'all could just watch TV, and y'all can get the sensational stuff if y'all want. But yeah. All right. Okay, so let's look at this bracket for Albany number 1. So we have South Carolina, who is going to be playing either Sacred Heart or Presbyterian. No idea who's gonna win in that first 4 matchup between Sacred Heart or Presbyterian. No idea. But yeah, South Carolina should beat them. That sort of goes without saying. They should beat them. Now looking at the rest of the bracket, we see North Carolina, who has a matchup against Michigan State now. Now, even though North Carolina is a higher seed, I don't see them beating Michigan State. I see Michigan State winning. I see Michigan State winning this matchup between North Carolina and Michigan State. Now, guys, let me know in the chat who y'all think is going to win that matchup. But I think Michigan State's going to do it. And then we have Oklahoma versus Florida Gulf Coast. Now, Florida Gulf Coast is nothing to sneeze on. Don't sleep on Florida Gulf Coast. They have the potential to get somebody. I don't think they will get Oklahoma, but they have the potential, right? They have the potential. We have Indiana versus Fairfield. Indiana should win that one. We have Nebraska versus Texas A&M. Nebraska should win that one. We have Oregon State versus Eastern Washington. Reagan Beers is back, and she's playing well. I don't see, Oregon State having a hard time at all getting through far in the Albany 1 regional. We also have Ole Miss versus Marquette. I'm gonna say something that is I don't know how controversial this is, but I think teams better watch out for Ole Miss. I think that March Madness is when Ole Miss comes to shine, and y'all better watch out for what Coach Yo has up her sleeve. I'm just saying. Ole Miss, yes, in my opinion, will be Marquette and will possibly go far in here. And we also have Notre Dame versus Kent State. Of course, Notre Dame will win that one. Now, the game that I am telling y'all to put on your list to watch this watch this Ole Miss game, Ole Miss versus Notre Dame. Now that is going to be a game, y'all. That is going to be a absolute game. And I'ma just say it. I think Ole Miss is gonna beat Notre Dame. I think Ole Miss is gonna beat Notre Dame. Yeah, I said it. I really do believe that Ole Miss is going to beat Notre Dame. And the reason why I say that is because, one, Coach Yo is a very, very, very good coach that is very underrated. And Notre Dame is one of those teams that doesn't play that many players, especially with they play like a rotation lately. They've been playing a very short rotation, like 6 or 7 players. And Kylie Watson is out. I believe she tore her ACL. I believe. Yeah, I can fact check that in a sec. But I because of that, yes, I think that Hannah is going to have a phenomenal game. However, I don't see Notre Dame beating. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them beating beating Ole Miss. I'm just saying. So guys, let me know in the chat if y'all disagree with that. But I see Ole Miss beating Marquette, beating Notre Dame, and then having a huge showdown matchup between Oregon State. And confirmed, Kylie Watson did tear her ACL, and she will not play for the NCAA tournament. Ole Miss versus Oregon State is also going to be a big, big, big game to watch. I don't know who makes it out of that. Like I'm not sure. I do believe that Ole Miss is going to beat Notre Dame, but will Ole Miss beat Oregon State? I don't know. I kind of, I could take it either way. I'm not totally sure, but I will say this: the team, in my opinion, that has the best chance against South Carolina between Oregon State and Ole Miss, I think it's Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss has the best chance to upset South Carolina. The best chance. Will they do it? Likely no. But I think that I think they have the best chance. I think they have the best chance, Ole Miss does, in terms of upsetting South Carolina. Because, yes, South Carolina is very, 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 very good. But, as I say, anybody can get got. Yes, they do have a great squad. Yes, they do have, I would say, the easiest. I do believe they have the easiest schedule out of all the other brackets, but they can still get got because y'all, this is March. It's time for some madness, guys. It is time for some madness, and I'm here for it. We will see what happens. But in terms of this bracket, it really is. South Carolina's making it out of this. If they don't, the team that's going to take them down is Ole Miss. That's the team that's going to take them down, in my opinion. But guys, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what y'all have to say about it. But yeah, I do think that that we will see Ole Miss doing what they have done in the past, and that is upsetting teams. Kelsey says, could Michigan State get an upset over South Carolina? I mean, it's possible. It's not likely. I don't think it's likely at all. I think the only team that has a chance is Ole Miss. But I don't know. You never know what can happen. But yeah, I don't see Michigan State getting an upset over South Carolina. Jed says Notre Dame is going to smoke Ole Miss. Really? I think the thing about Ole Miss's game, and the reason why I have them being like a super sleeper team that can pull some upsets, is because they are very, 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 very defensive minded. And I think that they can stop teams. And we've seen it in the past where Ole Miss gets an upset in the NCAA tournament. And I think it's possible for it to happen again. Now the tough part about Ole Miss is because, yes, they absolutely have the defense. They just have to score. they have to score. I think that's going to be the hard part. Like defense, they got it. And defense is the reason why I say they have the only chance. Again, I don't think it's likely. I don't think it's likely that they will beat South Carolina, but I think they have the best chance. I think they have the best chance out of anybody in Albany 1 because of their defense. The problem is going to be their offense, and can they get buckets? That's going to be the hard part. Can they get buckets? So that's the thing. If Ole Miss can start scoring, yeah. If Ole Miss can start scoring, then yeah, they have a really, really good shot. But yeah, I do believe that Ole Miss will beat Notre Dame, and the reason why I say that is because Ole Miss, again, is a defensive-minded team, and also Notre Dame doesn't have that many players left. They don't have that many players left, and so when you look at a team like Notre Dame that's probably going to play a 6-man rotation, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very, very tough. All right, guys. Now I want to revisit the poll I did earlier to see the results. So we did a poll earlier for who do you think will make it out of Albany 2? Is it Iowa? Is it LSU? Is it UCLA or the field? So LSU won that poll by 49%. Iowa was second place at 30%. UCLA had 19%, and the field had 5%. So yeah, that is the poll. That is the poll. Now, guys, I do want to start a new poll. Because we got to start a new poll for Albany 1. All right. So Albany 1. Let's do a poll for. So who do you think is going to make it out of Albany 1? All right. So is it South Carolina? Is it Notre Dame? Is it Ole Miss? Or is it let's have some fun with this. Who could be a crazy spoiler that we can talk about? Or is it, let's say, Michigan State? All right, guys, the poll is now up. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Paul says there doesn't need to be a poll for Albany 1. I mean, true. South Carolina is going to win. However, as I say, anybody can get got. So it's possible that they could lose. It's not likely. It's not likely. This is not. So I hope you guys are not like, Quita said that South Carolina is going to lose. No, I don't think they're going to lose. But if they do lose, it'll be to probably Ole Miss. It's not likely that they'll lose though. They're a very, 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 very tough squad to deal with. Frank said we're going to hold you to this Ole Miss take. I love it. I love it, Frank. Hold me to it, Frank. Hold me to it. And I mean, this is all, we don't know. It's possible. It's also possible that Ole Miss loses to Marquette. That's the thing, guys. We just don't know. And that's what makes the women's game so special. Guys, Mr. President is so excited. He is so excited that he is he's going to get to witness March Madness. Oh, man. I forgot to put the field. I'm sorry. I forgot to put the field. My bad. My bad. I forgot to put the field for Albany 1. Y'all, Mr. President is crazy. Queen says Mr. President is rooting for South Carolina. He probably is. Mr. President is probably a huge South Carolina fan. He probably is. He probably is. He probably rooting for him. He gonna be watching the game. So he you know, he's probably a South Carolina fan. He probably is. All right, guys. So that is kind of what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to just go through all the different regionals, and we can talk about like what's going on, who is playing who, and sort of speculate on what we think could happen. Because again, guys, things can change at a drop of a hat. Like they can change just like that. We talk about the women's game, and we talk about some of the players who are at the top of the game. We talk about the favorites and all that good stuff, but things can change so fast. It takes one bucket at a time, one pass at a time, one shot at a time, and anybody can get got. Things can change on a drop of a dime because, again, health is very important, right? We talked about Kylie Watson being out for Notre Dame with the ACL tear. We talk about Aaliyah Edwards, breaking her nose and getting back with the team. We talk about last tier Poa and how she has dealt with a concussion. And for last year Poa, Kim Mulkey actually talked about it recently as in like 2 hours ago. And so I do want to just do a quick sound grab of what she had to say.
What has this week been like for y'all, and what's last year's status?
Well, you saw her out there tonight. She's better every day. I think she told me she got on the treadmill maybe today. We're going to try to do some individual workouts, so that's a great sign. Her parents are still here. They will leave tomorrow night. This week we had 3 days off and been practicing since Thursday, had today off, and then we will get in the film room tomorrow and go to work, and depending on if we're Friday, Sunday, or Saturday, Monday, adjust accordingly, because now the NCAA will take over our practice times and things like that.
All right, so that is what Coach Kim Mulkey had to say. That last year Poa should be good. She should be good for the NCAA tournament. Again, we don't know for sure. Kim Mulkey doesn't know for sure. Concussions are an interesting thing that's different for every single player. So we don't totally know. Yes, they believe she should be all good to go for the tournament, but again, we don't totally know. Caitlin, thank you so much for the super chat. Caitlin says, hold on. Let's go to this bracket. All right, and let's pull up Caitlin's chat. Caitlin said, West Virginia, coach has been messy already, talking about sending Caitlin Clark home. Is that being messy? I mean, that's just if West Virginia beats Princeton, they're going to have to face Iowa. So assuming they were asked a question about it, I mean, shouldn't they want to send Caitlin Clark home? I mean, they're going to be playing Caitlin Clark. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming this was a question. I'm assuming that the coach got a question or something like that about it, and they talking about sending Caitlin home, because they might be playing Caitlin. So of course they should want to send them home. I don't know if that's messy. I don't know. It's different, I think, if they weren't playing them for like, if they were in the completely different bracket and they were talking about sending home or something like that. But like, I don't know. Like, to me, it makes sense, right? Shouldn't they want to send Iowa home because they're gonna possibly be competing against Iowa? I don't know. To me, that makes sense. But it's not likely. It is not likely that they will beat them. Michaela says it wasn't a question. He just straight up said it. Oh, okay. Well, that's confidence for you. That's what I got to say about that. Hey, that's confidence. West Virginia is confident. But it won't work out for them. Okay. Shout out to Larry. Thank you so much for the super chat, Larry. Larry says, spoiler alert, Deja Kelly time to shine. South Carolina better hope we lose to Michigan State. NC reppin'. All right. I mean, Deja Kelly's a player who can get hot. She can get hot. So hot enough to beat South Carolina? I don't know. I highly doubt it. But, who knows? We're in strange times, guys. We're in strange times. And I am here all for it. Jack says, first of all, Jack, thank you so much for the super chat. Jack says, thanks for hosting this forum, Quita. Respect your opinion and love your vibe. I come here on the daily. Keep up the good work. Go Utes. Peely Power. I like that. Peely Power. Shout out to Alyssa Peely. She's a rock star. Anyway, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jack, for the super chat. Thank you so much for rocking with me. You be checking in on a daily. That is fire. I really do appreciate that. I really do. Y'all are the people who make this channel what it is. Y'all really are. But guys, we are going to get into the WBIT and the WNIT in just a sec. I do want to just get to some of y'all comments. And then we are going to continue on. All right. Wow, guys. We are at 1,300 chats today. We are at 1,300 chats today. 1,300 messages, y'all. Y'all have been going back and forth in the chat, having a good time. I appreciate it. Y'all have been absolute rock stars. If y'all have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We are on our road to 10,000 subscribers, y'all. If y'all can help me out, that would be absolutely phenomenal. I do cover all things women's basketball. Right now, it is heavy NCAA. However, that is not all we talk about on the channel. We talk about the WNBA. We talk about overseas play. We talk about some college or some high school basketball as well. So there's lots of stuff that we talk about on the channel. I am not a talking head on TV. I am just an average person who has been a women's basketball fanatic my entire life, who just loves to talk about it, and has a YouTube channel where I talk about it. So this is not like this is not like my main gig to do this channel and talk about women's basketball. I know I post a lot of content. I know I do, because I actually spend probably way more time. Like I probably spend about 40 hours a week doing this, even though technically this is not my actual job. I have an actual real job that actually pays me money. But I love women's basketball so much. And it's just fun, man. It's just fun to talk about. It is just fun to talk about, and I freaking love it. So guys, yeah, this is stuff I just do because I think it's fun. It is fun to spend all the time watching games, analyzing teams, learning about players, doing research, and then talking about it to the awesome people of the internet. Shout out to the Corley family. Thank you so much to the Corley family for the super chat. I appreciate it. It says hashtag CG4L. That's I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Corley family. Hope y'all are doing well, Corley family. All right, guys. Yeah, there's a lot more to get to. There's a lot more to get to when it comes to women's college basketball, because it is not just the women's tournament. It's not just the main NCAA women's tournament. It is also some other stuff as well. It is also the WBIT, which I do want to talk about the WBIT because for those who do not know, the NCAA added a new playing field called the WBIT, and this is supposed to compete with the WNIT on the women's side, and it's supposed to be the women's equivalent of the WNIT in the NCAA. So it should be the NIT for the men's basketball team. So the NCAA runs the NIT for men's college basketball, and the WBIT is going to be similar to that. Now, I did make a video about the WBIT earlier in the year, so I hope y'all check that out when it came out. If not, that is a-okay. I will tell you all about it. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal with the WBIT. So 32 teams that did not qualify for the NCAA tournament, they are able to participate in the WBIT. Now, again, this is sort of like the B level. For the teams that don't make it to the A level, you got the B level where you can still participate, still have some March Madness, but it is not as crazy as the regular March Madness for the So Alan says, so second place trophy. Then yeah. This is the runner-ups that did not make it into the NCAA tournament. This is what the WBIT is, and it stands for Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament. It is their first year for this tournament for the NCAA. This is, again, 32 teams, and it's supposed to be similar to the NIT, the men's NIT, which is what the NCAA puts on every single year. Now, the teams will be going against each other on campus sites, and the final rounds will be at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis for the semis and the championship. And yeah, we kind of have an idea of what matchups look like. So a number one overall seed for the WBIT is Miami. So Miami is a number one seed. We also have Washington State. We also have Villanova, and we have Penn State. So those are the squads. Those are the squads that are the number one seed in the WBIT. Now, I think it makes sense when we talk about this this WBIT. The first four teams that were just like right on the outs of the NCAA tournament, those are the teams that got automatic first round bids for the WBIT. Now, guys, I thought I was sharing the WBIT stuff, but I'm not. So let me share that with you. So y'all just not looking at nothing. I do have the list of early matchups for, again, the WBIT. All right, so again, we have Miami, Washington State, Villanova, and Penn State as the number one squads. Miami will face Stony Brook. Stony Brook is a team that I believe they played today, and just missed out on the NCAA tournament because they did not win their tournament. We also have number 4 ranked Illinois, who will be facing Missouri State. Tulsa will be playing Arkansas. Washington will be playing Georgetown. So Georgetown, the Hoyas are still able to keep their season going in the WBIT. For Washington State, they're going to likely destroy Lamar. We have Santa Clara versus BYU. Florida State versus St. John's. Toledo versus Cleveland State. We also have number 1 seed Villanova versus VCU. Virginia versus High Point. St. Joseph's versus Seton Hall. Cal versus Hawaii. And we have Penn State versus George Mason. Ball State versus Belmont, TCU versus North Texas, and Mississippi State versus Georgia Tech. So for those Mississippi State Bulldogs who were upset about their team not making it, that's something, right? That is something. Your team was still able to make a tournament, not the tournament you wanted, but It's not bad. It's absolutely not bad. It's absolutely not bad. So yeah, that is something that I wanted to just talk about because the WBIT exists to sort of help to extend the shelf life of women's basketball for teams that are not able to make it into the main NCAA tournament. And also it's because the NCAA wanted more control over what happens later in the season, because the WNIT is actually is still happening. For those who aren't aware, the WNIT is still happening. It's slightly smaller than it was in years past, but that's not affiliated with the NCAA. And so the NCAA wanted their own thing that they can control, that's sort of like a second tier, and they can kind of push the WNIT out, because the WNIT, if the WBIT continues, I think it's going to be hard for us to be able to see a opportunity to continue to see the WNIT, because the NCAA just has a lot more money and has a lot more opportunities to make it far. Now the WNIT, I don't believe that has been actually, hold on. All right, guys. Looks like we do have everything all situated for the WNIT. Now for those who are asking about Niagara, Riri is asking, I think I saw some other comments about Niagara. Niagara did make it to the WNIT, so they will be playing in the WNIT. For those who are curious, but when it comes to the WBIT, I think it's basically it's basically Washington State's to grab. I think Washington State is going to come out on top in the WBIT because they're just a better squad. they're just a better squad. Shakira, yeah, you're right. Yep. NCAA wants all the money, so they use the WBIT to push out the WNIT. Yep. All right. Alan says, I'm really starting to not like the NCAA. I mean, but Alan, if you like women's college sports or college sports in general, you don't have a choice. None of us have a choice in the matter. The NCAA is the governing body of basically all college sports. So, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Now, I do want to also I do also want to talk about the WNIT and talk about some of the teams. Now, I do want to show show their press release that they just put out like very, very recently. So let me pull that up real quick, and then we'll get into the WNIT. All right. All right. So this was a press release that was just released like a couple of minutes ago. So the postseason WNIT officials released their 48 team field for 2024. So now, guys, okay. So here are the numbers. 68 teams in the NCAA tournament. 68 in the main NCAA tournament. We then have a squad of 48 teams in the WNIT. And when we look further into the WBIT, we have 32 teams in the WBIT. So 68 NCAA tournament, 32 WBIT, 48 WNIT. So guys, there is so many opportunities for teams to play in the it's so many opportunities for teams to play in postseason play. There is so many opportunities. And I do just want to walk through some of that stuff with you all because, yeah, you're not going to see really anybody talking about the WNIT. You're not really going to see anybody really talking about the WNIT. There are so many games and whatnot happening that most people won't cover. But on Quita Loves Sports, we will cover this stuff because I do think it's important for us not to just know the big schools, but also know what some of the other squads are doing as well. Now, when we take a look at this, we see that there were some automatic qualifiers, some teams who automatically are in to the WNIT, which includes Colgate in the Patriot League, Grambling in the SWAC, Limon in the Northeast Conference, Monmouth in the CAC, Niagara in the Metro Athletic, Northern Arizona in the Big Sky, South Carolina Upstate in the Big South, Southern Indiana for Ohio Valley, Stetson in the Atlantic Sun, I should say. Albany, University of Albany for the American East. UNC Greensboro for the Southern Conference. And then we have our at-large qualifiers, which include Boise State, Bowling Green, Buffalo, Butler, Central Arkansas, Charleston, Cincinnati. I don't know how to pronounce that school. I don't know. Do something. Eastern Kentucky, Florida International, Illinois State, Louisiana Monroe, Minnesota, Montana, Murray State, North Carolina A&T, North Dakota State, Northern Colorado, Northern Iowa, Old Dominion, Oral Roberts, Pacific, Providence, Purdue, Fort Wayne, St. Louis, South Dakota, Southern Mississippi, Stephen F. Austin, Troy, UAB, UC Riverside, UI Chicago, UT San Antonio, Vermont, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So those are the squads, guys. Those are the squads, and that's something to note for for the WNIT. So I guess I just wanted to walk that through with you guys, just so y'all can see. Shout out to T Monique. Thank you so much for the super chat. T Monique says, love, love, love your channel, Quita. I started following a while back covering WNBA and was so happy to see you covering the NCAA. Thanks for creating a non-biased, fun space. Congrats on your growth. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really, 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 really do appreciate that. And yeah, I appreciate all the support y'all have given to me. Oh, Duquesne. That is how to say that. Duquesne. Okay. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. All right. So we've kind of talked about all the stuff I wanted to talk about. Okay. Now I am happy for us to revisit some of the more popular schools and talk about what else y'all want to talk about. So just as a recap, I do just want to go through it again. So we have the Final Four. Not Final Four. We have the NCAA Tournament brackets all ready to go. Guys, if you have not joined our bracket, we are the awesome people of the internet are doing a bracket. We are participating in ESPN's tournament challenge. So guys, if y'all have not filled that out, guys, I ask that you do. I ask that you do, because we are going to compete against each other, and we're going to see what happens, guys. We're going to see who can come out on top, guys. Who's it going to be? How many upsets are we going to see? That's something that we are all going to determine together. And I think it's going to be fun. So if y'all have not joined it, let me know. If you for some reason you can't find the link, let me know. I will talk about it. Remy says, I'm with y'all, low-key, and Officer Davis. I keep telling Quita she forgetting beers. I will give you that. I recognize the greatness of Reagan Beers, but sometimes I do sleep on Oregon State a little bit. I do. And I think that's just, I don't know why. I just kind of do. So yeah. Oregon State is a good squad. It's a very good squad, especially since we see the fact that that this team is balling when Reagan Beers is on the court. Now, I gotta see how far they're gonna make it when we get to the actual NCAA tournament. But you know, I kind of talked about it earlier, but it's Oregon State versus Ole Miss. You know, who can come out on top? I think that Ole Miss can possibly get Oregon State, just like I think Ole Miss can possibly get Notre Dame. If Oregon State does make it far, and it's South Carolina versus Oregon State, I think South Carolina wins. Reagan Beers is phenomenal. It's a kind of a shame that Oregon State hasn't had much publicity at all. They haven't had any games on TV, any games on national TV. Well, I mean, games on the Pac-12 network, but they haven't had any games on like CBS Sports or ESPN this season. So there hasn't been as much attention brought to Oregon State as there should be. And I am part of that, and I do own that. And should be acknowledging more about how good Oregon State is as a program. But yeah, Riri, Officer Davis, low key, y'all are right. I do be sleeping on Oregon State. I do. They are a very, very good squad. Very, very good squad that can play well in the NCAA tournament, as long as Reagan Beers stays healthy. If she stays healthy, yeah, they look good. They look very good. All right. Cruzy, I think that's how you say your name, says, the real question is how UCLA got second seed and UCLA is better. Or LSU is better. I understand how UCLA got the second seed. Yeah, I understand. I understand how they got the second seed. Sure. Yeah, sure. I would say in a head-to-head matchup, yes, LSU is a better squad, in my opinion, than UCLA. But UCLA also went through the gauntlet that is the Pac-12, and LSU didn't. So, I mean, I just think I think that is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. All right, guys. I do thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Y'all, we have done 2 streams today, and it has been so fun rocking out with y'all. Now, I do want to leave y'all with some stuff. I want to talk about what y'all can expect from this channel going forward until the end of the to the championship game at least, and then further out from that. So guys, March is when this channel first started. Like the end of March is when this channel first really started. So I will be hitting my channel anniversary very soon, and I'm very excited about it. But you're going to expect daily videos from me. That's what you can expect. You're going to see daily videos talking about different matchups that we're going to be seeing both in the NCAA, in the WBIT, WNIT. You will also be seeing live streams from me quite often. I will probably be doing at least 2 live streams a week, maybe more depending on what's happening. We will also just see a lot of commentary about these players. So as teams are losing, we will. The hope is to do sort of retrospectives to talk about the teams that lost and talk about their players and just sort of honoring the players who have played their last game in women's college basketball. Because guys, this is win or go home. Once you lose, that's it, guys. And I think it's important for us to make sure to celebrate that and talk about some of the players who have done well for their different programs. We're also going to be just talking about like the different narratives that is going on. Women's college basketball, March Madness is all about the narratives. This team versus that team. It's about teams trash talking each other. It's about teams upsetting the other team. Like that's what this is all about. And so y'all can expect a lot of commentary about that. So again, videos every single day. I hope y'all are going to be tuned in for that. We will have videos in the beginning of the day, videos at night. We will have live streams as well. So guys, I hope y'all are in tune for that. And as time is continuing to go on, I will start to ramp back up my WNBA coverage because we are about to hit the WNBA very soon, guys. The WNBA draft is right around the corner. And it's about to be a fun time. So guys, that is commentary that y'all can look forward to as well. So yeah, this channel is all about women's basketball in all its forms. College, WNBA, overseas, high school, everything. So guys, I appreciate y'all rocking with me so much. I really do love this channel and love what we have created on here together because this is all us. This is all us. This is sure. I make videos all the time, but like it's you guys who make this channel really what it is. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, we are going to be back with a whole lot more videos. So I hope y'all are ready for it. I hope y'all are ready because y'all about to be educated on everything related to women's college basketball. So yeah, for sure, gonna have some entertaining talk where we're just sort of like talking back and forth and whatnot, and we're sort of doing stuff like this where I'm like saying, hey, here's what's going on. What do y'all think? We're gonna do a lot more polls, a lot more interactive stuff. Merch is coming. It is coming. Likely it's going to be the week of the Final Four. I'm just trying to get all the ducks in a row. But yeah, it'll likely be the week of the Final Four. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that I can't even talk. I'm so excited that all works out. Anyway, yeah, that's just a quick look at to what we have in store for the channel. Thank you so much, Adrian, for the super chat. Adrian says, "Happy channelversary, Quita." Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It technically my channel, it has been around for a long time, but like what I'm doing now, this sort of women's basketball commentary thing has been around for now, going on a year now. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Erskine, for the super chat. Says, LSU fan, whether I'm living in Houston, Pittsburgh, or DC, we're deep. All right. Tigers through and through is Erskine right there. Tigers through and through. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Y'all are the MVPs. Y'all are the awesome people of the internet that make all this stuff so exciting. You know, and we'll see what is in store for us for women's college basketball, because y'all, I think it's gonna be a fun one. I think it is going to be a fun one. Yeah, Queen says, I saw that your first vid is 16 years old. Yeah. So I actually I made this channel like back when YouTube was like very new, and I actually made videos about women's basketball. I did like slideshows about women's. It was like music. It was back when do y'all remember the time when YouTube was just you took music and you put a slideshow over it, and that was your video. that was your video right there. Like, that's what I used to do. That is what I used to do. I used to make videos, slideshow videos of different teams, and players that I liked. It was a fun time. And then I just stopped making videos altogether. And then I started last year. I started making videos, and now look at where we're at. My favorite video, I would say, if y'all were to look at an old video, I would say actually delete it. When I restarted the channel with what I'm doing now, I had to actually delete quite a few videos due to copyright stuff. So I had way more women's basketball videos that I've made in the past, but I had to delete them. So yeah. But my favorite one is the Seattle Storm bringing the fire. I made that when they became champs because I was a huge Seattle Storm fan. So I made like a montage video of Seattle. Like I was like an OG YouTube person. I've been on YouTube for most of my life. Most of my life I've been on YouTube. It's crazy. It is absolutely, positively crazy. Anyway, guys, yeah, I feel like I don't have much to say anymore. But yeah, I think that's basically all I have to say. And my official anniversary is March 28th. March 28th, 2023, I released my first video. March 28th, 2023. My first video of like what I'm doing now. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And yeah. Officer Davis says you look sleepy. Gonna take Mr. President out, and we'll be waiting for the next live. Yeah, I will talk to y'all soon. I haven't decided if tomorrow's afternoon show is going to be a live stream or if it's a produced thing, but maybe it'll be a produced thing. I feel like I'm less rambly when I have it produced, and it's like short and sweet, straight to the point. All right. Anyway, LSU Tiger says, why did you decide on that date? That's when I released my first video. I don't know. I I wanted to. I've always wanted to make a channel, like a commentary channel for women's basketball, but I was always nervous to do it. And then after when I was watching the tournament last year, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn on my camera and do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I did it. I put it out. I was nervous as crazy. I was very nervous, and it wasn't, the early on videos wasn't very good. So I I would highly recommend y'all don't watch those. They look horrible. They sound horrible. But but yeah. If y'all want to get a laugh at my expense, watch some of the videos I put out last year. They're really bad, but I appreciate y'all for rocking with me anyway. Again, have a fantastic day. I did walk my dogs earlier, so I don't have to walk them anymore. But I am going to lay on the couch and watch some I'll probably watch some NBA. And then get to thinking more about women's college basketball for tomorrow's video. So yeah, guys, if y'all have not seen my y'all see this dog? Y'all see this dog sleeping? Y'all see him? That's Mr. President right there. That's Mr. President. He's a South Carolina fan. Frank says too late. I already watched it. Team Monique says we gotta start somewhere. Yeah, we gotta start somewhere. And my start was horrible. I feel like I should just take those down, but I don't know. It's not a very good look, but you have 5 German Shepherds? Really? Alan, that's a lot of dogs. Wow. Thank you so much, Coco. I appreciate the super chat. Coco says, thank you, Quita. Thank you, Coco. I really, 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 really appreciate the support. Like all of y'all who have done super chats, like y'all are the MVPs of the day. Y'all really are. This is all for fun for me. Cause again, this is not my main gig, but who knows? Maybe eventually, not saying right now, but maybe eventually I will be able to make this like a real thing. Who knows? Who really knows? But I actually really do love my actual job right now. I really do love my 9 to 5. But who knows what happens in the future? But yeah, if this could turn into a real thing, into a real permanent thing, that would be so fun. So fun. All right. Alan has a lot of dogs. And Alan says they have 10 acres. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, you need 10 acres. You need 10 acres to deal with that many dogs. Especially German Shepherds, you got to run them things. That's why my dogs are okay, cuz they small dogs. So they don't really need to run or nothing. Just walk them twice a day and they all good. They are all good. All right. So guys, I feel like that's it. I feel like that's it. I don't have anything else to say. Yeah. Again, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Appreciate y'all for doing these polls. Y'all did 4 polls during the stream today. I appreciate that. Bree Wayne says, Quita, good night. No more polls song. I mean, yeah. That's it. That's it for the polls for this season. There's no more polls. I do adore. All right. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic night. Be safe. Have a good day at work or at school or whatever you're doing tomorrow. Or if you're retired, have a great day being retired. And I'll see y'all next time. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. So until tomorrow, guys. Bye.